Hello, everybody. Welcome along to Good Afternoon Rabble here on the Rangers Rabble Podcast, brought to you by the Rabble Network and the Talk Sport Fan Network. My name's Martin. I'm your host, and my co-host today is obviously my regular co-host, Brian. Brian, my friend, how are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Nice morning up here, blazing sunshine. So, and the Europa League starts as we're about to speak about, but it's hopefully going to be a glorious day all round.
Were you playing golf today, Brian?
No, I wasn't. No,
Just because you've got a nice golf jacket
I
on there.
know, I know. It's a nice sort of. It's one of these sort of thin, sort of long sleeve, sort of quarter zip things. That's just nice to wear and toss around in sometimes. So,
And to feel middle class as well.
middle class by ours.
Have you got
You
the
should.
tartan trousers that you wear?
Oh, no! Don't start that nonsense. You should know fine. I'm not middle class after our escapade in Hamilton.
No, but I can just picture you going round in the Ian Poulter gear, you know?
No, fuck, no. That's not my gig. No way.
No, not your gig at all. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I've heard different, Brian. I've heard some stories. Um, but yes, you are right. The Europa League returns tonight, Brian. You excited?
I kind of am. Yeah, as I say, because of what happened in the last game against Hibs, you kind of have a little bit of positivity and a bit of hope that things are going to go well. Because I really wasn't looking forward to this European campaign at all. Just purely for the fact our domestic form was so bad. But you see, I know one swallow doesn't make a summer, but it was just nice to get a win. It was nice to sort of feel that we can actually win games, because there was a point there I was thinking to myself, I remember there was a pod, I can't remember who was on, and they were looking at the next 5, 6, 7 fixtures, and they were going, "Can you see us getting?" I think it was yourself. You were sort of asking, "Where can we see the next win coming from?" And that was worrying. That's how sort of bad it was. So no, it was nice to get the win against Hibs, get into the semi, and obviously we've got Europe now as a bit of a distraction. So I'm hoping both teams to be similar scenarios, doing poor in the league. Maybe European football be the respite that they both crave.
Well, just looking at Genk quickly, something you says to me before we came on was if if their top goal scorer doesn't score, nobody does.
Yeah, pretty much. A Moroccan lad, is it
Has to be
Zakari?
Moroccan. Of course, he's Moroccan.
He had to be, yeah, exactly. So Zakari El Kwahidi, I think I'll say Kwahidi, a Moroccan 23-year-old. So sounds very similar to sort of age and sort of build of our ex-player um, Hamza Egaman. So yeah, I'm kind of hoping that the Moroccan element doesn't come back to haunt us, because he definitely seems to be their main man, and if he doesn't score, then they seem to struggle. So um, it'll be an interesting game tonight. I'm hoping that our past sort of European exploits, albeit out with the Bruges one, will hopefully stand us in a bit of good stead.
Now, I couldn't bring myself, and I really should have. It's actually bad work practice, right? In all seriousness, it's really bad work practice. But I couldn't bring myself to watch Russell Martin's pre-match presser. I just couldn't do it, Brian. I don't know.
No,
Did you see it?
no. I seen clips or sort of quotes from it, but I couldn't watch it. I'm much like the same as you now. I'm just sort of, you're not expecting to hear anything different. You're not expecting to hear anything that excites you. Yeah, you're kind of just in this let's get it over with sort of mode. So no, I didn't watch it at all, I'm afraid.
I mean, how is it every time you're on? There's a police car outside.
I think that's an ambulance. To be fair.
Oh, it's an ambulance, right? Well, fair enough.
Very little.
I take
There's
that
very
back.
little crime up here. There's very little crime.
Aye, all right. Very little crime in Forest. I'll crack the jokes. I'll crack the jokes. Um, aye. Well, I mean, one thing that did come for the presser, Brian, is that Joe Rothwell is back available for the team. I don't know if that's good news, bad news, and different news. I'm not quite sure.
I know. I would suggest that he'll be on the bench. I can't see Rothwell starting. There's no way he's been out for the couple of games that he's been out, and he's going to come straight back into the fold in a European game, especially after the team result against Hibernian. So I can't see Rothwell coming straight back in. I mean, he'll maybe make an appearance off the bench if required. I mean, they'll obviously have plans to play him for a certain amount of minutes, and all that nonsense, game time management and all this new manager stuff. So he'll certainly, I certainly expect him to feature at some point. I just don't see him starting. He surely can't. I mean, goodness me, he wasn't fit before, so it's going to take him a while to get back up to anywhere near what we hoped he was. So no, I don't see him starting. He'll be benched at the very best.
Well, according to Ross, he's down to 10 men fall a day. Joe Rothwell. He's down to 10 ciggies a day, honestly.
I mean, that was the thing. That was the surprising thing about Rothwell. He looked like he was towing a caravan, didn't he? He didn't matter what game he was playing, he struggled. He just looked as though he was like walking through sort of treacle. His legs were going, but he just wasn't going anywhere. It was so bizarre. As I say, for a guy that played in the 40-odd games in the Championship, winning a league, and you thought you were getting something better, but no, it was a real disappointment when you've seen him. So let's just hope now that his injury worries are behind him and he gets a bit of sort of fitness.
I mean, I'm probably faster than Joe Rothwell, to be fair, and I'm not fast at all. Running through cement, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, O'Brien. I can't see him being brought in for the start. He'll definitely be on the bench. So does that tell us that it will be Raskin, Dio, and Asgaard again as the middle three?
You would like to think that the manager or head coach, will reward the team that sort of started and finished against Hibs. You know what I mean? They done a
why? Why?
Why? Well, I mean, they played well. They beat Hibs, this clean sheet. So, I mean, there's no reason to really change much, unless there's enforced ones with injuries or suspension. Well, there can't be suspensions, can there? So it would be more injuries than anything. So it'll be an interesting picks up. The front three is going to be the interesting one. I mean, Mialski will start. That's the only guarantee you can have. It's the wings that's going to be the interesting one. Is it Gassam, Moore, Ant-Man, Curtis? He's got a bit of an abundance of choice in the wings, so it's going to be an interesting choice for him to see who he goes with and what positions. Because, as I say, when Ant-Man started, he looked really good, and got Gassam as well. So it's but Curtis has changed. He's came in and changed a few games and put his hat in the ring. So it's going to be an interesting one for Russell Martin. It'll be very interesting. The front line's always going to be interesting because, as I say, the defence kind of takes care of itself. Cornelius has come in. You expect him to start. Suter, Tavernier will start, and Magoma. So I don't see the back line and the goalkeeping situation changing because you'll put Butland back in. So yeah, I think that the midfield three, what you said is correct. It'll be Asgaard, Raskin, and Dio, and then I would. I'm going to go Gassam, Ant-Man, and Mialski.
I've got to slightly disagree with you, Brian, and I don't like doing it, right? Because you're quite an intense guy, right? So I don't like disagreeing. I don't think we played that well against Hibs. I know there's a few people have said it. I know they have. I don't think we played that, and I've said this all week, to be fair. I really don't think we played that well against Hibs. I thought Hibs had opportunities that on another day, if they take, I think we're struggling for the rest of that game. I thought we still looked very vulnerable. I don't think we created that much more than we have. Yes, we scored for open play. I get it. Yes, Raskin kind of took the game by the scruff of the neck and controlled the game, which is great. He has to play tonight. There's no other option. Raskin has to play. Yeah. But I genuinely don't think. I know we won, right? And I'm glad that we won, and I'm glad that we got to a semi-final. I don't think, and maybe I'm completely wrong here. Maybe I'm willing to hold my hands up and say this. maybe I'm just past the point with Martin where I'm looking at a game that we've won and thinking, but we didn't play well. Maybe we did play well. Maybe I'm just looking at the game completely wrong, right? But I genuinely don't think there was that much difference. We were slightly better against Hibs, but not great.
Maybe I'm being over positive then. Maybe I'm being slightly over positive in the sense that you see the 2-0 score line and it maybe clouds a little bit of the play, but you know, I'm trying to glean any form of positivity going into this game. I'm just trying to grasp anything.
I get that.
I'm grasping at any straw or anything that I can see just to try and get some positivity into this game because the Europa League's a big one. We want to qualify. We got top 8 last year, so we should be aiming for top 8 this year. And the fixtures are kind. I mean, if you looked at last year's fixtures compared to this year's, last year's was far harder. So this is one I'm trying to get excited about. We should be progressing. Well, I would like to think that at least the playoff situation we should be doing that, no problem.
It's a must. That's a must. That's an absolute must.
Yeah. But I'd like to think if we got top 8 last year, we should be getting top 8 this year because the fixtures are far kinder. I mean, when you look at the games that we've got to play, for example, we've got Roma, who's obviously the standout sort of fixture, yeah? You've got Sturm Graz away next, Brann away. You've then got Roma at home. You've got Braga at home. You've got Ferencváros away. And then you've got Ludogorets at home and Porto away. So, Porto and Roma are the 2 standout fixtures. One's home, one's away.
When you read it out like that, it's not that easy a group. To be fair, there's some good teams in there.
Would you have wanted last year's fixtures or this year's?
Well, no, I get that. But I think we might have got slightly fortunate last year with the whole we get beat off Man U, but the Tottenham thing where Tottenham were relatively poorish. But I'm with multiple, man, right? Pure rivalry. We finish above Celtic in the Europa League.
Oh, 100%.
Finish above Celtic. Absolutely. We absolutely 100% finish above Celtic. Now, the reason, Brian, why I asked you, why would you keep the same team, is because believe it or not, I was thinking, Brian. I started thinking, which I know can be quite dangerous. I know it can be really dangerous. I was thinking, I don't know if it would be better tonight going with a midfield three of Barron, Raskin and Deal rather than having Asgaard in there. Yeah,
possibly. I mean, Barron actually played really well. Was it the Celtic game? He was busy in that game. He got injured and he had to come off, didn't he? So, so maybe a bit of legs in that midfield will help. Because Raskin, Barron, and Dio, there's one thing you can say about them all: they'll get around the pitch, all 3 of them. You could argue they could all take turns in playing the 6, couldn't they? They could all play the sort of hold and roll at a point in the game and sort of rotate and give each other a rest. So there's every possibility that could be the case because they can all get forward as well. Dio likes to get forward and score. Raskin likes to get forward and score. Barron's maybe the only one that you would suggest that hasn't done the goal scoring part. But no, I must admit, going back to what Multiple Man said, I totally agree. If we finished a goal ahead of them in the league and we're 8th and they're 9th, I'm delighted.
Yeah. Oh, no, listen, 100%. 100%. And I mean, Paul's asking, what about Raskin, Barron and Asgaard? I wouldn't be against that. I just think Dio, at more points this season, albeit not enough, but at more points has showed a little bit more in the middle of the park than what Asgaard has, which is why I would go with Raskin, Barron and Dio tonight. Just my own personal opinion. But is he looking ahead to Sunday as well with his team selection tonight, Brian?
No, I would like to think that he's got enough in the there's enough in the tank for I mean, I would like to see Dio tonight purely because I think Europe suits Dio. I think he plays better in the European stage than he does in the league. I'm not saying he's a dreadful player, but for some reason in Europe, Dio seems to perform better. And if I had the answer to that, I'd be a manager, wouldn't I? So, but no, I think you're right. I think there's arguments for all sort of 4 to start. You know what I mean? It just depends the makeup and how he wants to go about it. I mean, Asgaard, you could argue, is flattered to deceive. He's sort of he's moseyed around and sort of looked. I don't know. He hasn't looked very busy, Asgaard, and that's something from a a midfield sort of perspective that sort of Rangers fans won't wash with us. We like to see midfielders being busy and getting around the pitch and contributing and stuff like that. So Asgaard just seems to have tried to sort of float around and look like he's busy, but he's actually not busy. So Asgard's made. He went away.
I still think you can see the quality in him, though, Brian. I think you can see there's a quality player.
Absolutely.
We just need to work out how to play him properly, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's obviously maybe just not quite up to the speed of the Scottish game, because obviously it's a big shock to a lot of players, the speed of the Scottish game. It's a different intensity. So he's maybe just sort of struggling to get around and sort of adjust to the sort of speed of the play in Scotland. So yeah, all I'm saying is I think as well, the manager threw him under the bus when we played St Mirren away, threw him up as a number 9. He's never a number 9. That was a poor shout from the manager. So he's obviously had to play out of position a couple of times as well. So no, we'll wait and see. But as I say, I can see arguments for all 4 starting. It just depends on the manager, I'm afraid, and we all know where try to guess his team selections goes.
And I mean, Sid's saying Asgaard had Engels in his back pocket. Sid, I would argue that that's not difficult. On recent performances, every time we've played Celtic, I've not seen anything in that Engels boy. Nothing.
Oh, but he's the best Belgian player in Scotland, isn't he?
He might in the future become like the greatest player ever to play in Scotland. I don't know, because usually my words fire back on me. But I've not seen anything for the boy where I think, oh, that was a good 11 or 13 million or whatever it is, pound well spent. I think you could probably just hand him a comic book and it'd probably put him off. To be honest with you, that's how poor that boy's looked. Nicholas, has the Genk manager received the Rangers team sheet yet? I think maybe in a couple of hours. We've still got until 8 o'clock tonight. I think maybe a couple of hours until he gets the team sheet.
It's not even 1 o'clock yet. There's plenty of time for the team sheet to be leaked.
Oh, don't worry, Nicholas. The Genk manager will get it. Yes. Let's feel Miller, Brian. Fans need to get behind the team now. Do I think Martin will turn that around? No, but these toxic fan pressure is affecting the morale of the team. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I probably stubbornly sort of agree. I find this fan pressure just tiring at times. I find it just draining. It's like, as I've said many times before, we can shout from the hills as much as we want. The guys that own, Kavanagh and Marath, they're going to do what they want. They're going to do things their way. They're not going to listen to, a protester. They're going to stick to their guns as long as they feel they're right. Whether we like it or not, that's the way this is going to go. These guys, they're going down a path they believe is correct. The fans don't think they're correct. So what do we do then? Do we just go again? Do we not just?
I'm not being funny, Brian. No, and with regards to the players, right, being affected by fan pressure, I'm sorry. These guys are on more a week than what most of us make in a year, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A bit of boo, and you can't play football, and you're on 20 odd grand a week. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it.
No, but I think confidence is a big thing. And I think if you're, if the players are going out and, like, say if they try a pass and it doesn't come off and it's like, the fun, so I get where it is. I get where you're coming from. I totally get where you're coming from. These guys should be more than be able to take a bit of criticism here and there, but I just find this very tiresome now, and it just doesn't look as though, ever since the sort of the Bruges game, there's been this pressure for Russell Martin to go, and there hasn't been one hint of anybody suggesting that that's going to happen. So I'm afraid we're just going to have to almost swallow our pride and just say, right, we've just got to support the players now. Okay, the manager's here just now, but we've just got to get behind the players, because as much as I don't want Martin there, I just don't see the hierarchy getting rid of him. You said it yesterday, I think, in the morning rabble. Do you see him getting removed? And you were like, no, you just don't see it happening, do you? So we've almost just got to just swallow our pride here and just sort of just support the players as much as we can.
Yeah. I mean, I like you said. I said it yesterday. I just don't see the board giving up yet. But
no. So what's the point in us putting our energy into asking for the manager?
They want a Russell Martin hair flick. There we go. You can't do it.
I'm saying, what's the point in us? What's the point in us sort of shouting and protesting and getting all hot under the collar?
Do you think it will stop, Brian, if in like 3 or 4 weeks he's still here? Do you think it will stop?
If he's won all the games, yes. Like if he wins tonight, wins against Livingston, I think it's Dundee United at home. Is it Dundee United after that? If he puts a run of 3 or 4 games, wins under his belt, all of a sudden the mood changes, because then you're going to games expecting to win. You're seeing something. Whereas the start of the season we've had, I mean, that 3 draws we started off with, you could have seen us losing every one of those. We were lucky to get a draw out of any of them. So it's momentum building. We need to see some form of momentum where, see, if you even play crap and you win, at least you can hold on to your hand, that you can sort of throw your hat onto that and say, right, we're not playing well, but we're winning. But can you imagine if we do play well? You know what I mean? So I just feel fans now, we've just got to swallow our pride and say, right, the manager's not going anywhere. We don't like it, but at the end of the day, the players need our support, and we've just got to get behind them.
Yeah, but I just don't think the fans will stop anytime soon with regards to how they feel about the manager, and I think they've got every right to do that. By the way, at times during the Hibs game, they were, regardless of their feelings on Russell Martin, they were still supporting the team inside Ibrox.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But all this sort of protest and stuff, it's like, look, it doesn't matter what you do. The hierarchy at the Rangers are not gonna sack him. They're not gonna get rid of him. They believe that he's the right man. So we've just got to turn around and just suck it up just now and see if we're proved right. Then we're proved right. But see if we're proved wrong, we'll look a bit silly, won't we?
I'll be happy to be proved wrong.
Absolutely.
More than happy. Absolutely more than happy. Question for Graham Brown. Our 8.5, Graham. Come on now. 8.5 million striker be warming the bench tonight. Now, that was something I was going to bring up to you, Brian. I was wondering if Russell Martin throws a kind of curveball and starts Chermiti up front tonight instead of Miovski.
I suppose it depends on the tactics that he's wanting to play. I mean, Chermiti is obviously quicker than Miovski, you could argue. I would say Miovski's hold-up plays better. So it all depends on what the manager feels he is going to do, as far as, is he wanting Miovski to hold the ball up, or are they wanting the sort of front 3 to be very quick so that they can put balls in behind? Are the Genk defence slow? So if the Genk defence are sort of not blessed with pace, there's an argument to put Chermiti up top with Atman and Gassam or whoever, and stretch them and sort of ping balls in the channels and let them run onto them. So it all depends on, like, say if they've got a quick centre half, then you kind of have to go, right, okay, you're not going to get the better of him pace wise, so you put Miovski. So it all depends on how the manager sees the defence of Genk coping with either pace or Miovski. Because Miovski, you've got to sort of admit, he used to cause our defence absolute nightmares when he played for Aberdeen, because he used to hold up. He was extremely good at it. Scored against us, So he knows what he's doing in the Scottish game. So. Yeah, it's all. I think
Aberdeen, Brian. Aberdeen played to Bojan Miovski's strengths. We don't.
Yes, well, that's what I was just about to say. You've got to play to Miovski's strengths. You've got to. He likes to get sort of in about the centre half and sort of have a bit of a tussle and stuff like that. So it all depends how the manager sees where, if he's going to use pace or if he's going to use brute force as in strength.
Right, I've got a poll out on the YouTube channel. So if you're in the comments on YouTube, have a vote in the poll. The question is simple. It's simply, are you confident heading into our first Europa League tie? Yes, no, or absolutely no idea. That's your three options. So get
I'm
voting
gonna go yes.
on the poll. You're going yes. You're going confident, Brian.
Yeah, we've got. I mean, Yank are third bottom in there. I mean, don't get me wrong, we're second
We're
bottom, so it's
second
tight.
bottom.
I know, but I mean, we're at home, they're away. I would like to think that the Thursday night Rangers nights are going to come back, and the fans will roar us on tonight, and give the boys the support they need and get us over the line. Get us off to a win and get us a nice 3 points to kick off our Europa League campaign.
Does a win tonight strengthen Martin's position in your eyes? And if your answer to that, Brian, is yes, right? Does a loss mean the exact opposite for him? Because I've heard a few people saying, well, it doesn't matter if we get beat tonight because the board aren't going to change their mind on him. Does the result tonight matter regarding Martin's future for you?
Not particularly. I kind of think this is I'm not saying it's a free hit because that's the worst thing to say because Europe should never be a free hit. But I think the board are prepared for a bit of pain initially to like give them a chance to like get things right. And I think regardless of what happens tonight, I think nothing's going to change. So a win tonight obviously will strengthen them a bit. Will a loss hurt them? Not particularly. Because that I still believe that the board are going to sort of just mosey on and be quite happy with him until they feel there's a point where they don't see or want progress. So I just feel it doesn't matter what happens tonight. I just don't think there's going to be much of a change and much of a it's as I said before, I don't like to say the word free hit, but it's almost like he has got a free hit tonight in the sense that they're more worried about the domestic stuff. So, although the money side, I mean, this is going to be the interesting thing tonight as well as the attendance. I mean, I know
A lot of tickets still left. A lot of
that's
tickets
what I'm
still
saying.
left.
I mean, who would have thought a Europa League night at Ibrox would have been still you could still get tickets off the website. That was just unheard of a few seasons ago. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, will the money aspect will that come into the sort of the owner's thoughts soon enough? They're not making money. The Europa League packages haven't sold very well. So, folk were coming out of the CCCS. So, I dare say there'll be a few fans scrambling back onto the CCS for the League Cup semi, won't they? They won't want to miss
I would
that.
imagine
So,
so. I would imagine
yeah,
so.
yeah. So, but no,
Probably.
I just don't think I just don't think in the board's eyes a win tonight or a loss tonight makes much difference.
Blue Mac channel member has put in another super chat. Thank you very much, Blue, for all your support. I think we will win tonight against Genk 3-2. 3-2, but I hope it's not 3-2. My heart can't take a 3-2 tonight. Plus, after the reaction tonight, I'm going back to the gym. So I would really like to go back to the gym with a normal heart rate before I get there. But Blue Mac's saying he thinks we'll win 3-2. Can we score 3 goals in the one game now under Russell Martin? We've done it once.
We've done it once, but don't know. I mean, I'd like to think we can. I mean, but no, I think it'll be a couple of goals, 2-0 tonight. I just don't. I'll go for the same as Hibs. We'll have a period of riding out a storm, and then we'll score, and then we'll go on and get the clincher 2-0.
Well, I can tell you that the results of the poll that we put in. Are you confident heading into our first Europa League tie? Yes, 30%. Absolutely no idea, 18%. No, 52%. Over half the viewers are not
Wow.
confident going into the game tonight, which is incredible.
But you had folk that were more worried about Livingston at the weekend than they are tonight.
I would imagine if we don't win tonight and we play poor, I would imagine that if I put that poll back up in the build-up at the weekend on Sunday,
No, we would
it'd be higher than 52%. They would say no.
100%. Totally agree.
So yeah, the majority of people are not confident going into this game tonight. I've just ended it as it went to 51%.
All right.
So there we go. So yeah,
I'm quite surprised at that.
yeah. Well, there's not really a lot to be positive about Rangers now, to be honest, Brian.
there's not.
As much as we try and be positive, there's not a lot of positivity kicking about. As Blue Mac's been quite positive. 2 from open play in a corner. Miovski with 2 plus the gas man.
Take that. I'll take any form of win.
I would take that in a heartbeat. I would take that in an absolute heartbeat tonight.
Take a win.
And by the way, Blue Mac, thank you very, very much for the super chat. And we can't leave, Brian, right? We cannot leave the good people watching without your Ryder Cup prediction.
Ooh. I'm actually amazed that Europe are so heavily like outsiders. I mean, last time I looked, it was 8-11 for the Americans, and the Europeans were at 11-8. So I know it's a home Ryder Cup for America, but they've got four rookies playing. And 4 rookies is an awful lot. And the Americans haven't, all right, they had the absolute, they blitzed us at Whistling Straits I think it was Whistling Straits a few years ago. They absolutely swamped us in America, but I just don't see how we've got virtually the same team. We've swapped one twin for another, one Højgaard brother for another. So it's basically the same team DNA wise, and we're so heavily outsided. I find it amazing. As I say, we've only got one rookie. We've got 11 of the 11 of no, sorry. 11 of the other 12-man team. So the other 11 guys have won a Ryder Cup. So
watching you try to do mental maths there, Brian,
was
brilliant.
I know. Oh, geez, brain was hurting there. But no, I'm just amazed that the Americans are so heavily sort of fancied, because a lot of them aren't in a hell of a good, mega good form. We've got Ram coming back, so it's difficult because an away, Europe since 1993 or no, 87, Europe won 4 away. America's only won 1 away. America have only won once since 1987 away from home in 93. So,
it's in America. So
it's in America this time. So we've won 4 away ones. If there's going to be an away win, it's more likely to be Europe. That's all I'm trying to say. So just don't count us out yet.
So basically, what you're saying is, let me just compact all that what you've just said. Your head's telling you America's going to win. You're pretty sure America's going to win, but the biggest part of you wants Europe to do it, but you don't think they will. But you're trying to just find any sort of crumb of comfort that Europe are going to win.
No, I'm fairly confident Europe can get the win. I'm fairly confident. Tommy Fleetwood just won the FedEx. He just won the biggest prize in the PGA Tour a couple of weeks ago.
Would they have a better chance, Brian, if you were playing in it?
They'd have a better chance if you were playing it with your 7-iron.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would.
You and your bloody 7-iron. I still want to see this.
It's been a long time since I've had a 7-iron.
Magic 7-iron that doesn't move and it goes 160 yards. Honestly, I can't wait for it.
160 yards with my 7-iron, and I'm not lying. 160 yards, dead eye straight.
And the thing is, as well, they moved the ceremony from today to last night because of the weather. There's bad weather coming in today, so there's no golf. So, yeah, it's going to be an interest. No, one day with no golf. I mean, the panelists on the TV were panicking because they're like, "Oh, they're not going to get to play tomorrow. How are they going to cope?" And I'm like, They've got indoor range. They've got indoor simulators. They're fine. They've got the best of everything.
Go
You know
get
what I
a
mean?
swally. It's golf. You don't need to be in peak physical condition. Right, quick question before we go, Brian. What is your favourite course in Scotland?
Muirfield.
Muirfield.
Yes.
What did you shoot on Muirfield?
Oh, I can't remember what I shot. I think I shot 71 or 72 once. No, I like the course because the par threes are all different. Every hole is completely different. The fact that from memory, all the par threes go a different direction. So one's going north, south. I just find the variation of the holes tremendous. I think it's the fairest test. I mean, if you're looking for the most difficult, it's Carnoustie because it's just longer. But if you're looking for the best course, the most fun course, and the most fair course, it's Muirfield.
I shot 112 in Cheltenham once, which I thought was pretty good for a beginner, to be honest with you. 112.
Yeah.
Cammy wants to know what your handicap is.
+2.
+2. There you go. +2. He could definitely get in the Ryder Cup team. I think. Although Brian did tell me that many years ago he knew he wasn't going to make it when he played Rory McIlroy and McIlroy spanked him.
Yep. 3-2.
3-2 is not bad against McIlroy.
He was only, but he was 16. You know what I mean, he was still in bloody diapers.
Anyway, folks, right. Apologies for the golf chat. But yeah, we will leave it there, folks. We are back tonight, myself and Connor at 7:15. Alex is handling your watch along, and then I believe you're back tonight with me, Brian, as well, and Hamish to do the reaction.
Yes.
So we'll
me on a reaction. Wow.
I know it's not very often.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure you're paying attention to the game, Brian.
I'll try.
That's the most important bit. Right, folks, thank you very, very much for watching. Please do make sure that you like, share, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Give us a follow across all social media platforms. And if you want loads and loads of extra content and you want to help support the show more than what you already do, then consider becoming a member. Click the link in the description. Pick YouTube or Patreon, whichever one you prefer. You'll be helping to support us and getting loads and loads of extra content as well. Brian, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And Gallant, I shall not be taking your advice. Get Blotto and then do the reaction.
No, never take Gallant's advice. It never works. No. So the moral of the story that we've learned today is that we're not 100% sure what's going to happen tonight. We're not 100% confident, and never take advice of Gallant Pioneer.